Hey folks, Small Designs here, and this is part 3 of the Tamiya 135th scale M4A3 105 HVSS build. Okay, so we have most of the decals applied, and I wanted to do a video at this point just to show you what they look like when applied over the clear coat, which is the TS13 that we're talking about. So if you go back to part 2, you'll know more so what we're talking about here today. But this is the TS13 clear that I've used. So basically we painted the model with the TS5 and then we clear coated it with the TS13, and now we've put some decals on. And now I find this method a lot better to do when applying the decals, because if you apply it over the decals over a flat coat, or especially a flat coat, they do not look right. If you apply it over a gloss coat, they look a lot better. But because the tanks generally are flat in nature, if you're using decals, they need to go over some kind of coating. So the best thing I think to use is the TS13, which is just a clear. However, the clear does look somewhat glossy, I guess, in person. But if you've ever seen a tank in real life, especially one off a factory floor, it does kind of look like this. Now, luckily, because we are using shadings and things like that, which I have applied prior to using the TS13, it does give it this metallic look to the tank, which I think I've achieved there. However, we are in the first stages of building this tank. But getting back to the decals, again, we've applied the TS13, it's dried, and now we've put the decals on. And as you can see, they look like they've been painted on. Now, all the tools that I've used for applying the decals is right there. That's it. That's all we used. We got some water, we have a hobby knife, we have the Microset Microsol, brush, and scissors. So that's it. That's all I've used. So basically, we take the decal off. We dipped it in water, hot water that I like to use, not boiling, but hot. But prior to attaching the decal, I used a little bit of Microset, applied it where the decal is going to go on to, and then we placed the decal on, and then we brushed away the excess water and such. And then where the decal was, like on the piece of paper, there's still some of the glue, right? From where the decal was. And then I like to apply with a brush over top the decal, the excess glue, and then we kind of wipe it away. And then we keep working the decal in until it looks like that. So obviously you can kind of see a little bit, where the decal meets the actual tank. But for the most part, it looks painted on, right? Now, of course, once we get the flat clear over top of it, and then the weathering and such, at a later date, it's going to look, really, really nice. That's why I like using this TS13. And as you can see, for this portion of the tank, again, I think it turned out really, really, really nice. And these are just using the kit decals. These are not aftermarket decals, or just the Tamiya decals. A little bit of problem with obviously this decal right here, and wasn't the decal or anything. It was just because of the shape of this turret. As you can see, it kind of curves up. So this one here, I had to do a little bit of cutting just right there. I just cut the decal a little bit, just so it nicely rounds over. So a little bit of Microsol and such, just so it really helps smooth the decal over. So again, using these two products, got to be careful, because they can ruin your decal or decal, however you say it. Get a lot of flack for saying that word wrong, but just be careful. It depends on what decals you're using. Going over, especially like if you're just using like the normal star, you're not going to have any problems, right? But if you're using this circular one, just be careful right around this area right here. It's going to want to kind of edge up a little bit on you, so you're going to have a little bit of trouble making that nice and smooth. But there you go. So I think that turned out rather well. As you can see, you're not getting that decal edge that you normally see when using decals. But again, once you put another coat over top of this, you can start applying, pretty much whatever weathering, stuff you use. Like I like to use the Optolong oils and such. But at least once you apply another clear coat over top of this, you're going to be good to go. I wouldn't use anything like right now, otherwise you're going to chew up your decals, right? So you definitely need another clear coat over top of this. And you don't want to go too close with your clear coat, especially if you're using sprays, because they can get quite aggressive, obviously, on your decals. You want to be, a little bit of distance apart, otherwise then you're going to start seeing your decals bubble up, unless that's what you want to go for, because sometimes that could be used for weathering, but we're not going to get into that today. But there you go, guys. I didn't really show that in my last builds on, my decal methods, but hopefully this will help you guys. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely hit that like button. It helps the channel grow, and I look forward to your comments.